We live in a world where almost everyone believes they know what money is. We work for it. We save it. We worry about losing it. We judge success by how much of it we have, and yet, very few people can explain what money actually is. And here is where the story begins, because the thing you spend your life chasing may not be wealth at all. There are two forces silently fighting for control of your future: currency and real wealth. They look similar, but they are not the same. One preserves power. The other preserves freedom. One is created by decree. The other is earned, mined, built, or grown. One loses value over time. The other survives empires. This is the story of how currency replaced wealth, how governments and institutions turned paper into power, and how that silent shift changed the destiny of nations. But to understand how it happened, we need to go back before banks, before dollars, before the idea of money itself. Because the war began much earlier than most people realize. In ancient civilizations, Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, wealth was simple. Wealth was grain, livestock, land, metals, and skilled labor, things you could touch. Things that had inherent value. If you owned cattle, you had food. If you owned land, you had crops. If you owned gold, you held a metal rare enough to matter anywhere in the world. And most importantly, wealth was independent. No government could create more land. No king could manufacture wheat from nothing. No emperor could print more gold. So power, back then, came from owning resources, not controlling money. But power always seeks expansion. And the people who ruled learned something. Controlling value directly is difficult. Controlling the symbols of value is much easier. This was the seed of the Silent War. Around 600 BCE, something revolutionary happened in Lydia. The world's first standardized coins emerged. Metal discs stamped by the royal seal. Now, instead of trading wheat for cattle, people could trade symbols of wealth instead of wealth itself. Currency was born, a representation of value, not the value itself. At first, currency and wealth lived side by side. Each coin had real metal inside it, but rulers saw an opportunity. If you control the currency, you control the economy, and if you control the economy, you control the people. All you have to do is convince them that the symbol is the value. Over centuries, gold and silver coins spread, but they were heavy and slow to move. Banks emerged as vaults for storage. People deposited gold and received a paper slip claiming that gold. Paper became a placeholder. Trust was the foundation. But then the banks realized something. Most people never came back for their gold. So they started issuing more paper notes than gold they held. This was fractional reserve banking, wealth replaced by promises. Wealth became belief. A quiet takeover had begun. Fast forward to the 20th century. 2 world wars wrecked economies. Countries printed massive money to fund conflict. Inflation exploded. To restore stability, the Bretton Woods Agreement tied global currencies to the US dollar and the dollar to gold. Order was restored temporarily. But in the 1960s, the US printed more money than gold available to back it. Nations demanded gold in exchange for dollars. And in 1971, President Nixon ended the gold standard. The dollar became fiat, backed not by wealth, but belief. And when the world accepted this new reality, money stopped being real. From that moment, governments could create unlimited currency. And they did. Debt exploded. Corporations borrowed more. Citizens borrowed more. Banks encouraged loans. The economy became dependent on debt. Debt was no longer a side effect. It became the product, because debt generates interest, and interest flows upward. This is why wages stagnate while the cost of living rises. Why houses become unaffordable. Why saving feels like falling behind. Why the rich grow richer while ordinary citizens drown in financial pressure. It is not accidental. It is structural. Look at the numbers today. Global debt is around $315 trillion. Global GDP is about $104 trillion. The world owes 3 times more than it produces. The United States alone holds over $35 trillion in national debt. And more than half of all dollars in existence were created in the last 5 years. In the same period, your savings lost up to 30% of purchasing power. Meanwhile, billionaire wealth increased by over 50%. The silent war is not poetic. It is measurable. Every system solution has been the same. Print more money, lower interest rates, expand credit, stimulate consumption. But printing more currency devalues existing currency. Lowering interest encourages more borrowing. A system built on infinite debt cannot return to real wealth, because real wealth has limits. And power hates limits. History shows the pattern. Rome, Ming China, the Ottoman Empire, British Empire, all collapsed after replacing wealth with currency, production with credit, value with illusion. The pattern is repeating globally. The question is not if a reset comes, but what replaces currency next. There are 3 key lessons. First, currency is not wealth. It is a temporary claim on wealth and one that weakens over time. Second, debt is the foundation of the economy now. Understanding how debt flows means understanding how power flows. Third, real wealth is always scarce and always physical. Land, metals, resources, skills, energy. These survive resets. Paper promises do not. There are 2 types of people in every transition. Those who understand the system is changing, and those who realize it too late. The silent war continues not with armies or elections, but through belief, value erosion, and time. Do not confuse currency with wealth. Do not confuse savings with security. Do not assume the system will protect you, because the system is protecting itself. If you found value in this breakdown and want to keep learning the hidden patterns shaping your financial future, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who still believes money works the way school taught it. This story is not ending, it's just beginning.